It's a Monday. This thing is going okay. Yep, we're good. This is called Burn the World. I don't know how to pronounce the freaking name to the band, but we're good. The gunfire you hear is a video game, so if you hear my fiance cursing, it's because he's cursing at the video game. Anyway, we're on chapter 3. Just making sure, because I'm a bit of a... Yep, we're on chapter 3. Book number 2 of Reaper Adventures. Imprisonment. I say that way too cheerfully. I really do say that way too cheerfully. And anyway, don't bring your kids, because it's not kid-friendly. There's no sex scenes or curse words, but there's probably more than one scene of torture. There's definitely mentions of torture. There's murder by Angel, and they do escape Eden's prison eventually, and you get 3 new characters involved. Whoop whoop! Anyway, what a joy. It's Monday! And I got a little ponytail back here. My hair is getting longer. Can't say long, because it's really not long. Anyway, moving on, we're on chapter 3. This chapter contains, how do I explain this? It contains the demon eating off of a lot of emotional pain from pain. Anyway, let's move on. We're on chapter... As I said, we're on chapter 3 of Reaper Adventures Imprisonment. So let's move on. Pain was silent as he reluctantly ate the food that had been provided. The demon had been moved to the cell across from Pain and was looking steadily worse after his first torture session. I did say there was mentions. Pain wondered if the demon could manage to survive off of human food rather than humans as food. Human happy meals. Pain mumbled to himself, not realizing that he had spoken out loud. Not until he heard the demon give a slightly pained chuckle. Ugh. Pain froze, looked at the demon and studied the demon's skeletal appearance. Human happy meals. That was good. Oddly accurate, too, the demon stated as he returned Pain's gaze. He shifted his gaze from Pain to the wall in front of him before closing his eyes. Are you going to... Pain trailed off there as the demon's eyes fluttered open for a few seconds. Survive, the demon finished, forcing his eyes open again and studying Pain. Pain nodded with confirmation. Probably not. The demon sighed as he closed his eyes again, hoping that if he meditated for a small amount of time, that would help rather than harm. With the Enochian seals containing him in his cell, he doubted it would help, and there was definitely harm in trying. Baja Blast. Woot woot. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order came downstairs to see Pain and the demon, whose name she now knew. That's in the one on Wattpad called Fallen Ascension, but let's go on from that. Whose name she now knew. She stopped in front of their cells and looked at the Nephilim. He was watching her with his purple eyes, which actually I don't know if that's something that's a normal thing or not, but yeah. The makeup he had been wearing had been washed off, as well as the blood from each session of torture. More mention of torture. Pain had every reason to be suspicious of Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order would understand if Pain desired her death. Of both her vessel and herself, which is possible. You find out how that's possible later on. She did not doubt that if Pain knew how to kill an angel, that he would do so without hesitation. He's not going to make it, is he? Pain asked Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order when she continued to stare at him. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order knew he was speaking about the demon. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order glanced at the demon and raised an eyebrow. He looked horrible. Skeletal, and somehow he was still alive. Freaking hair. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order turned her attention back to Pain. Why does it matter to you if he lives or dies? Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order questioned, curious despite herself. Why does it matter to you if I live or die? Pain countered after a slight, thoughtful pause. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order blinked with confusion. You are my captive, Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order replied. So is he. Pain reminded her. As far as I've heard, he's still supposed to stand trial, isn't he? Pain pressed. He is to stand trial still, yes. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order answered. Pain made a sound of consideration. How is a corpse supposed to stand trial? Pain inquired as he looked at her. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order was shocked, and then realized with a harsh jolt that Pain was right. A corpse would be unable to stand trial before the creators. She looked at the demon, who was barely alive, and back to Pain. I do despise admitting it, but you are right. The corpse will be unable to stand trial. I would be the one to take his place and responsible if he breathes his last before he stands trial before the creators. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order admitted with a sigh of resignation. However, since he is demonic in nature, the food that sustains you and our vessels will not aid him in any way, Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order told Pain. Let me guess. You're angels and have no fear, Pain commented, rolling his eyes. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order was silent, studying Pain. No, but you do. You have suffered greatly in your 18 years of life. You were the perfect meal for him. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order said with a smile at Pain's confused expression. I never told you anything about... Pain trailed off, thoroughly confused and hating the flutter of nervousness that entered his heart. How did you... Pain began and took a step back when Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order entered his cell. He hadn't even realized he had stood up to attempt to get away from her. The chain of Enochian seals appeared around Pain's neck as Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order brought a struggling Pain into the demon's cell. The chain of Enochian seals attached itself to the wall. I might have to get into detail with that later when I type this up, because these are just rough drafts. So, Pain looked at Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order with a mixture of confusion and slight fear. Demon, I offer you a meal, Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order told the demon as he forced his eyes open and studied Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order. There's a lot of that name going around, and that's a long damn name. Long, bleh. She motioned towards Pain, who was attempting to get rid of the chain. May his fear satisfy your hunger as you take your fill, Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order said with a polite smile and a polite curtsy. She's a princess, she curtsies. Yeah. Anyway. She studied Pain and then wondered what she could do to make sure the demon wouldn't have to waste what little energy he had to enhance the Nephilim's fear. Frickin' ads.
AFK Arena, your heroes await.
She walked over to Pain, who was watching her warily. Ooh, good song. Hollywood Undead is the name of the band. I want you to know, Nephilim, you will never find family with humans. And you will never be accepted by angels, Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order whispered in Pain's ear. The defiant, wary glare instantly vanished. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order did not stay to see what the Nephilim's expression was now. She gave the demon another polite curtsy, and then took her leave so the demon could feed in peace. Pain watched as Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order left, and after a pointless struggle to stop the metaphorical wound from bleeding, Pain let it bleed. He would have to deal with the pain later. And now there's the word pain again. Anyway, Pain expected the wound to become worse. He was only mildly surprised when it didn't. The demon either didn't want to cause more damage or he didn't need to. Cause soda, not coffee. Soda this time. Yeah.
Soda with rum.
No rum. But I do wish it was rum. I wish. Pain wasn't sure which was worse, and tried to staunch the metaphorical, I can English, I swear, I'm just not that good at it. Metaphorical wound from the fresh flow of figurative blood. There we go. After a while, Pain realized that he was silently crying. His knees pulled up against his chest and his breaths shuddering on occasion. The demon had fed until he was full. He was mildly concerned that he hadn't needed to enhance or amplify the emotional anguish Pain was experiencing. Yeah, that's gotta suck. Actually, now that I think about it, that really does gotta suck. Pain looked up at the demon when he knelt down in front of Pain. "You're leaking," the demon stated, unable to hide the concern from his voice. He mentally scolded himself for that and inspected Pain for physical injuries where he could see. "Why does it matter to you if I'm leaking?" Pain asked, and gave a cry of surprise as the demon's tail lifted him up after wrapping around his wrists. "It doesn't really matter if you're leaking," the demon lied, as he finished making sure Pain had no physical injuries. "I just need to make sure my food supply isn't physically harmed," he stated as he let Pain back on his feet. "Emotional damage is extremely different from physical injuries," Pain mumbled as he studied the demon. "Seems like you're full," Pain commented. The demon nodded with confirmation. Pain watched the demon and decided not to tell the demon that his lack of concern, though convincing, was a lie. Pain doubted the demon even knew that he was actually truly concerned about Pain, food source or not. And that was an actual weird way of showing care, which allowed Pain to realize that this demon, even though they were an expert in hiding it, they had a conscience. Small or not, the demon still had a conscience. "Thank you," Pain said, deciding to put his theory of the demon having a conscience to the test. The demon gave Pain a brief, startled glance that turned into a split second of confusion, and then slight suspicion remained on his face. "For what?" the demon inquired, studying Pain with narrowed eyes. "For checking for physical injuries. You can more than likely feed off of the pain they cause, too. Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks for checking when you didn't have to." Pain answered with a brief flicker of a smile. Ads. "Oh my gosh, it's hide and seek! By the Vocaloid, woo!" Anyway. The demon blinked and realized his suspicious glare had been replaced with shock. He had never once been thanked from someone he had just eaten from. Especially from someone who knew that you could, and usually did, feed from physical injuries as well as emotional pain and fear. "You're welcome, I guess," the demon said, thoroughly confused by both Pain and the sudden swell of appreciation that Pain had thanked him for checking for physical wounds, instead of possibly despising him more for feeding from them if there had been any to begin with. Oh, wow, we're almost done. This is a short chapter. Short-ish, yeah. Anyway. Moving on. Pain noticed the demon's expression become confused, and a barely noticed flicker of a smile crossed his features. It was quickly erased, as was the confusion, and both were replaced by an unreadable stare. Pain wasn't sure if he was currently in danger anymore. He hoped not, but he had no idea anymore of what the demon was going to do. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order returned as the demon finally came to a decision. Excuse me, I burped, my goodness. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order entered the demon's cell and removed Pain from the demon's cell. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order returned Pain to his cell and then left Pain's cell. Wow, that's a lot of the same word. Anyway, she studied the demon and saw that he had his fill. His appearance was no longer skeletal or sickly. He was furious, though, glaring at Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order with the hatred she had begun to grow used to. She was surprised when the demon's hateful glare shifted from her to the Nephilim in his cell. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order politely took a leave, deciding to let her two captives sort out whatever issue had arisen between themselves. She knew better than to have placed them in the same cell while they figured out what the issue was. The demon would most definitely kill the Nephilim, and Princess of the Air... English. I need to English over here. Kill the Nephilim, and Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order had no intention of them killing one another. No, that smile doesn't mean it happens, it means it doesn't, but okay, we're gonna move on. After the soda. Night fell in Eden before Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order was informed by the two Keepers of Peace that the demon and the Nephilim had discovered what the issue between them had been and had reluctantly sorted things out and had come to the conclusion that they would not kill each other. The Nephilim was resting and the demon was pacing in his cell. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order breathed a mental sigh of relief at this news and decided that it was time to follow the orders given to her from the Creators by the Archangel Gabriel. The Nephilim was to be tortured outside the walls of Eden's prison to let the Angelic Order know that no mercy would be shown. I need to add the word no as in I know. This was also to see if the father of the Nephilim would reveal himself. Oh yeah, we're almost done. Yeah. About maybe 2 more sentences. Yeesh. Let's continue. Princess Ariel of the Angelic Order informed the 2 keepers of peace of this and dismissed herself when they let her know they understood. She went to her residence and allowed her vessel to rest. Tomorrow was going to be a stressful day after all. And we are done with chapter 3. As I said, there is mentions of torture, so following on that note, chapter 3 does say that Cain will be tortured outside the walls of Eden's prison tomorrow, so there is a torture scene in chapter 4. Common sense. Anyway, moving on, I do have some accounts that if you're interested in, I need to figure out how to do some things to a couple of them, but that's beside the point. I have a Wattpad account, which is at Tempesta771, a TikTok account, which is at AirDrinkCraven2, no uppercases, no spaces, under the name Tempesta Braveheart. I have an Instagram account, which is under the name Tempesta Braveheart, no uppercases, no spaces, under the name AirDrinkCraven, which is my Facebook account. I will try to accept your friend request if I don't know you, but if you turn out to be really, really kind of creepy, I'm gonna block you. Yeah, no, I don't need to deal with that. Anyway, moving on, I also have a Snapchat account. Holy shit, I keep saying that right for the past 3 weeks. I'm so happy! Which is Airdrin Craven, no uppercases and no spaces, and we're watching my YouTube, which is under the name Tempesta Braveheart. So that is that. Chapter 4 is next Monday. We have finished chapter 3, and I'm going to cut it off here and say peace out, Girl Scouts, and enjoy the mental hilarity.